What if I told you the Premier League's bottom club, already out of another cup, could push their manager to the brink this weekend? Nottingham Forest faces West Ham, and the stakes couldn't be higher. One team is flying high despite internal drama, while the other is in freefall. Will Forest continue their surprising dominance over the Hammers, or can West Ham finally turn the tide and save their coach's job? Prepare to dive deep into the data, because this match has all the hallmarks of a potential shocker. Nottingham Forest are likely to line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. What are their strengths? They are truly adept at carving out chances with incisive through balls and absolutely lethal on counterattacks. Their ability to claw back from losing positions and their clinical finishing are also massive positives for Forest. Plus, they frequently dominate aerial duels. However, they can sometimes be caught offside and are prone to individual errors. West Ham, on the other hand, might opt for a 3-4-2-1. Their main strength lies in creating opportunities from long shots. But the weaknesses, my friends, are numerous: poor finishing, frequent offsides, struggles defending against wing attacks, and, yes, individual errors. Critically, they are extremely vulnerable when defending set pieces and against skillful, tricky players. They also badly falter defending counterattacks and notoriously struggle to protect a lead. Does this sound like a recipe for trouble for the Hammers? Indeed, it does. Nottingham Forest could benefit from an unchanged squad, which is fantastic for team cohesion and continuity. Their only significant absentee is Nicolas Domínguez, sidelined with a knee injury for an extended period. For West Ham, the picture is far less settled. Guilherme is out with an injury, and Lucas Summerville is a serious doubt due to a hamstring problem. Manager Graham Potter, under immense pressure, is desperately searching for a winning formula after 3 consecutive defeats. These absences, combined with their dismal form, could make West Ham's already monumental challenge even tougher. Could this be the straw that breaks the camel's back for their coach? The league table paints a stark, almost shocking, story of contrasting fortunes. Nottingham Forest sits comfortably in 5th place, having secured a solid 4 points from their opening 2 fixtures. They've found the net 4 times while only letting in 2, showcasing a strong start, especially at home where they clinched their only victory, bagging 3 goals in that match. West Ham, however, is languishing rock bottom in 20th position, having failed to collect a single point from their first 2 outings. They've managed a solitary strike but conceded a shocking 8 goals. At home, they embarrassingly conceded 5 goals in one game. Away, they allowed 3 in another. Forest's goal conversion rate stands at an impressive 20%, while West Ham's is a dismal 4.2%. This chasm in form and efficiency clearly highlights the immense gap between these two sides heading into the weekend. Nottingham Forest's recent form provides plenty of reasons for optimism. In their last Premier League encounter, they snatched a commendable 1-1 draw away at Crystal Palace, even after surprisingly trailing at halftime. Before that, they secured an impressive 3-1 victory at home against Brentford, absolutely dominating the first half to establish a 3-0 lead. These results speak volumes about Forest's ability to perform well, particularly when roared on by their home crowd, and their uncanny knack for starting matches with blistering intensity. Could this early dominance be a key factor for our betting predictions? West Ham's recent results, on the other hand, paint an undeniably grim picture, like a recurring nightmare. They've lost all 3 of their recent matches, leaving fans utterly despondent. In the League Cup, they suffered a 3-2 away defeat to Wolves, going into halftime a goal down. In the Premier League, they were utterly hammered 1-5 at home by Chelsea, trailing by 2 goals at the break. And their league campaign started with a painful 3-0 away loss to Sunderland. These consistent heavy defeats and abject first-half performances highlight a serious, deep-seated crisis for the Hammers. Is this merely a slump, or is it a systemic failure? Let's dissect the recent goal statistics, and what we find is stark. Nottingham Forest find the net an average of 2 times per game while only allowing 1 goal against them. At home, they are even more formidable, scoring 3 and conceding just 1. They boast 1 victory and 1 draw from their 2 games. West Ham's numbers are, frankly, alarming. They manage a mere single goal per game but are leaking an astonishing nearly 4 goals per match. In their single home game, they conceded 5 goals. Away, they conceded 3. With 3 losses from 3 games, West Ham's defense looks not just exposed, but completely shattered. Looking back at their past 6 encounters, Nottingham Forest holds a clear psychological edge, dominating with 4 victories to West Ham's 2. Here's a crucial insight for bettors. Forest has led at halftime in 4 of those 6 matches, while West Ham has surprisingly been behind at the break in 4. Forest averages 1.7 goals scored and 1.3 conceded in these head-to-head encounters. West Ham averages 1.3 goals scored and 1.7 conceded. This rich history strongly suggests that Forest often gets the jump on the Hammers, particularly in those critical first 45 minutes. Can they replicate this early impact once more? And here's where it gets really interesting for those looking for value. In their past head-to-head matches, Nottingham Forest has scored a remarkable 6 out of their 10 goals at their home ground. But even more striking is their defensive record against West Ham at the City Ground. Forest has conceded a pristine 0 goals at home in these head-to-head games. West Ham, conversely, has scored all 8 of their H2H goals at home, failing to find the net with a single away goal against Forest in these recent matchups. They also concede heavily in the first half when facing Forest. This data screams a potential clean sheet for Forest and a monumental struggle for West Ham to even register a shot on target away from home. Could a Forest clean sheet be a shrewd bet? In terms of height, both teams boast equally tall defenders, averaging an imposing 186 centimeters. West Ham enjoys a slight height advantage in their forwards and midfielders, being 1 and 2 centimeters taller respectively. Forest's goalkeeper, however, stands a centimeter taller. While West Ham might possess a minor overall edge in pure aerial duels, it's worth remembering that Forest is already identified as strong in aerial contests, and, crucially, West Ham has been flagged as very weak at defending set pieces. This juxtaposition could be a huge area that Forest meticulously exploits, perhaps turning set pieces into decisive moments. When we compare the average ages of the squads, Nottingham Forest's outfield players are generally a touch younger, with their defenders averaging 26, forwards 25, and midfielders also 25. Their goalkeeper is a seasoned 33. West Ham's squad, conversely, appears slightly older in key areas, with their forwards averaging 31 and their defenders 27. This age dynamic could mean Forest brings more youthful energy and relentless pressing, while West Ham might rely on greater experience and tactical nous, particularly in their attacking line. Which factor will prove more decisive on the day? Player ratings tell a compelling story. Nottingham Forest's players generally boast higher ratings across the board. Their defenders, forwards, and midfielders all possess demonstrably better average ratings than their West Ham counterparts. The biggest statistical gulf lies in the goalkeeping department, where Forest's shot stopper has a significantly higher rating. This suggests that Forest not only enjoys superior recent form but also potentially greater individual quality throughout their starting 11, especially between the posts. Does this translate into a superior overall performance on the pitch? The numbers certainly imply it. Nottingham Forest keep a close eye on key players like Ola Aina and Nikola Milinkovic, who consistently win a high volume of aerial duels. Elliot Anderson, Dan Doy, and Morgan Gibbs-White are crucial cogs for creating assists and unlocking defenses. Chris Wood stands out as their top scorer with 2 goals, and he's already earned a Man of the Match award, also proving vital with his key passes. On West Ham's side, Niklas Füllkrug is strong in aerial duels. El Hadji Malik Diouf has provided an assist. Lucas Paquetá has netted their only goal so far. James Ward-Prowse remains their main creative force, renowned for his pinpoint key passes and dead ball delivery. Now, let's turn our attention to potential liabilities, areas that opponents will undoubtedly look to exploit. For Nottingham Forest, Ola Aina is prone to conceding fouls and picking up yellow cards. Chris Wood sometimes gets caught offside, halting promising attacks. Elliot Anderson is bypassed frequently by dribblers, suggesting a vulnerability. For West Ham, Niklas Füllkrug commits the most fouls. Jared Bowen and Tomas Soucek are often caught offside, stifling their attacking rhythm. Guido Rodriguez is frequently dribbled past in midfield, a significant concern that exposes the defense. Maximilian Kilman has also already picked up a yellow card. These weaknesses present clear targets for Forest's tactical approach. Looking at when goals typically happen provides fascinating insights. Nottingham Forest often scores early, within the first 10 minutes, and also frequently around the crucial halftime mark. They usually concede in the late stages of each half, suggesting a potential drop in concentration. West Ham, on the other hand, scores their only goals surprisingly early, also within the first 10 minutes. But here's the kicker: they concede throughout the entire game, with goals flying in from the 10th minute all the way to after 90 minutes. They are especially vulnerable in the second half, conceding multiple goals between the 50 and 60-minute mark. This suggests Forest could start with a bang and finish strongly, while West Ham's defense struggles to hold its shape for a full 90 minutes. Could we see early goals and late drama? Now, for the goal totals, a market beloved by many bettors. Both teams have seen over 1.5 goals in every single 100% of their matches this season. Nottingham Forest has had one match bursting with more than 2.5 goals, and another slightly tighter with under. West Ham, however, has seen over 2.5 goals in every single 100% of their games, with one clash even erupting with more than 4.5 goals. This incredibly strong trend for West Ham suggests their matches are consistently high-scoring affairs, driven largely by their porous defense, making the over market look exceptionally attractive for this fixture. Will the goals rain in once more?